It's another Sunday, it's another
Nonsense Rumble!
That's right, for the uninitiated, what we like to do is every Sunday we pick a category, we each pick a character that fits that category, and we argue with each other to the death, or at least the death of one of the characters. Today we've got a bit of a generic category, but who cares? Generic's fun. What is it?
Today we're talking about a Spearman.
Yeah, Spearman / Lancer. Mostly because Rick had Lancer in his notes originally, and I was like, nah, Spearman.
Yeah.
Not much to describe, really. If you don't know what a Spearman is, tough break, so you could probably work it out by context clues at this point. Rick,
Yeah.
do you have an honorable mention?
My honourable mention is just written down on my notes as fate bullshit.
That doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. Because I know there's one of the Lancer class guys who can just kill you without even hitting you because he just aims for your heart and always hits.
That's not true. I think you're thinking of Cuchulainn.
Yeah, it's dumb. So I've discounted that because I don't know enough about it to be able to argue it. So I picked someone else.
But here's the funny thing, though, Rick, is like I don't know how effective that is outside of Fate Universe rules, but it's not very effective in Fate Universe rules either.
Yeah, because instant kills need a way to be balanced in a longer story than one day.
For real.
So, it ends up being nullified in Fate as well as being ridiculously OP. So, I discounted it all. It's all bullshit. I'm sure it's very hype for people that love it.
In every single conflict in the cartoon, Rick, it's just straight up blocked by the other person. It's silly.
It says no. Do you have an honourable mention for me?
I do. My honourable mention is Aquaman.
Ah, shit, yeah, he's got his trident, ain't he?
Yeah, exactly. So he's my honourable mention for two reasons. One, I'm pretty sure he'll be a much more useful pick in a different category.
Yeah.
And two, it's a trident, it's a spear, but I could see someone arguing it's not. I'd say it's firmly in the family of spears, but...
Oh, yeah, like, if you got a feat for it in D&D, then tridents are included.
Oh, well, fair enough. I still didn't want to include him just in case the point got argued. But yeah, I think Aquaman is a fucking top-tier spear wielder.
Yeah, he is. And it's really cool watching it in the movie as well, as he just goes from zero to hero in trident wielding.
I'll take your word for that. I can't remember fuck all from those films. I don't think I even watched the first one.
I've not watched the second one.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. I can't remember. Let's move on, shall we? Rick, who is your actual pick?
My actual pick is Estinian Wormblood.
Oh, interesting. We got a match.
Yeah. So, in his current incarnation, it doesn't matter what spear he uses, he's bullshit with it, because all of his power comes from having mastered the worm within and just being able to jump a shitzillion miles in the air and come down at full force.
Yeah, man, that's just Dragoons in general, and Estinian is just the Dragoon's Dragoon.
Yeah, I picked him over Kane because we've seen what Estinian can do in 3D and with more detail.
And Kane's such a fucking buzzkill.
Oh, yeah. I think any other Dragoon, I think the only other one that I would maybe like more than Estinian is maybe technically Fang, but even then, she's in a weird position where... She's the spear wielder for that game, but she's more of a bruiser. Dragoon. Nah, she's a bruiser, not a dragoon.
Like Freya's more of a dragoon than her.
Oh yeah, totally.
And like she's not even a dragoon; she's a dragon knight.
Yes.
Which apparently is fucking different, but whatever.
Yeah, apparently different. It's because they wear a red. She wears a hat with red on it.
Well, also she does have a special ability. She uses dragons' abilities.
Yes. She makes like dragon spirits come out and do things for her.
My man, Rise Wind is fucking game breaking in disc one.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Estinian is a pretty solid pick for this, and it takes more than just you to beat him. Like, even in a one-on-one where he establishes that, oh yeah, you might actually be stronger than him, it's because you got the echo, and you can see where his AoEs are going to be. So, yeah.
I was going to say, don't you kick the shit out of him in ARR, though?
You do, but again, that's because you see where his AoEs are going to be. If you didn't, then you probably suck shit.
Okay.
Plus, he gets way stronger after that.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was just trying to boil down that I could have sworn you kick his ass at least
once.
Yeah,
you do. You kick his ass then, and you kick his ass when he's possessed by Nidhogg, but after that he masters that.
Yeah, but I don't count that as him.
Yeah.
Because, you're not really fighting him, you're fighting Nidhogg, who happens to be controlling him.
Mm-hmm. So who's going to be your pick for the Lancer Spear Wielder?
My pick for Lancer Spear Wielder is very obvious to me. I love the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. This isn't my first pick relating to that, but it's going to be one Guan Yu, specifically the Dynasty Warriors version of Guan Yu, where he gets just enough anime powers to not put him in busted levels like Goku, but to let him fight anime characters.
Yeah, like, he's not Lu Bu, but if you're controlling him, then maybe he can beat him, but only because you're controlling him.
So in every single fight, every version of the fight against Lu Bu, Guan Yu is the one who joins the fight second. Shang Fei is the strongest motherfucker ever, according to legend. But he doesn't. He's not as skilled as Guan Yu is with the spear, and he's also got 10 times more bravado. So he just charges Lu Bu, and Lu Bu almost fucking kills him. So Guan Yu joins in, and they're both equal matches. And then Liu Bei joins in, and Liu Bei doesn't really just add much, but he's another body, so distracts him a little bit. But yeah, Guan Yu in Dynasty Warriors at least is basically Lu Bu's successor. For this guy is tough. Don't fight him.
Yes. And he's so legendary even outside of Dynasty Warriors that the Guandao is just something that pops up as like the ultimate form of a Naginata.
Yeah, so the Dao is a Chinese saber with a very distinct blade, and the Guandao is just that sword design on the end of a really big stick.
Yeah, it's that on a stick.
Yeah, there's a very famous story, probably romanticized because that's where I read it. It was in the romance where that is the gift that he gets from Liu Bei not long after their Sworn Brotherhood ceremony. But I digress. He's just a very competent spearman in general. He can lead, not very relevant for this, but it's just something I wanted to mention. He's fucking tall. He's meant to be like just over 7 feet.
Yeah.
Like, he is a big guy. He's got a big spear as well, increasing his reach. Because we're using Dynasty Warriors version, he can't jump anywhere near as high as Astinian can. I won't even pretend. But he can jump up enough that aerial combat is in theory possible.
Yeah, like to the point of what happens in like Advent Children, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's a fair comparison. I think even Advent Children might be a bit pushing it. But
yeah, because Cloud gets help.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sephiroth is flying, but Cloud gets help from another Dragoon.
I was going to say, he gets help from Sid, who is a Dragoon.
yeah, Sid Highwind.
Yeah. But yeah, Guan Yu's regular swings just straight up get elemental infusions. He can fire projectiles. They don't go very far, but they go far enough that if he was fighting someone else who could fire projectiles, he could potentially counter, as it were. I don't know how we're going to... I think this is I immediately suspect this is going to be a coin flip.
Yeah, because I don't think either of them would be, like, very easy to back down. I'm just going to Google real quick, see if someone's already had this discussion in the past.
So, cause the thing I'm thinking of immediately is the one benefit I can give Astinian is that jump range and how quickly he can come back down and just slam the ground is definitely his biggest advantage. But we've seen in cutscenes in Dynasty Warriors that Guan Yu has got such a fucking battlefield sense that he can last minute just go, oh, he's going to hit here, which is where I am, and just backdash and then follow up with a swing, which usually gets blocked because it's Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. I looked up Hades, but not Hades.
Hades is another character who would have been pretty fucking good for this category. He's got a spear.
I looked up Astinian versus Guan Yu, and one of the things is just in German. Warum ist der Aspekt von Guan Yu so schlecht?
Oh yeah, I forgot Guan Yu was Oh yeah, that's a spoiler for you.
Yeah, on r/Hades of the game. Apparently a year ago, Guan Yu's aspect was trash.
Oh, I don't think it's very good at all in that game because it cuts your HP by 60%.
Yeah.
But the flip side is if you use one particular attack, which takes a minute to charge up, you can regain HP. So that's, in theory, infinite, but it's really not good in practice, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess you do it between fights.
No, you got to hit things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, no, you can't just regen health. No, you got to use the attack, and the attack has to hit things.
Sure. So it's like a proper life drain thing. Okay, that sounds like the kind of thing that I would enjoy trying to use, but if it takes so long to actually start working, then nah.
It's not so much that it takes so long, but it doesn't take long. It takes long in the context of Hades.
Yes, yeah, where a good fight is over quickly.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't think either of us are backing down on this, and I don't think the characters are either, so before I flip a coin...
It's not even backing down from a sense of, like, no, Guan Yu has to win this. I generally don't know who could win, because I think between the two, it would come down to who gets a lucky strike, which is weird when you're talking about two, quote-unquote, hardened warriors.
Yes, yeah, because these are, like... they're both masters of their craft.
Like, who blinks
And-
first? Like, Astinian is still alive and well. Guan Yu dies, obviously, but he doesn't die because of his lack of combat prowess. He dies because he gets ambushed, which I suppose is the argument you could also make for Astinian, is that he could set up an ambush, but one, that doesn't seem like the thing he would do, and two, it very much does not take into account our neutral ground bias.
Yes. Which was a kind of a plot point earlier this month.
Yeah, it really was. So, let's flip a coin, and I'll just go tails again for the sake of ease, unless you really want tails.
No, we can go. It's currently on tails, so I'll flip again.
Just flip once, no point doing 2 out of 3. We're all good.
Flipping once, we have heads.
Heads. So, Astinian's going to win. I don't feel too bitter about it. Again, like, Astinian's got the aerial game covered.
Yes, and they both have anime bullshit powers.
They absolutely do, and, like, I'm not even including red hair in the argument, but I don't even think that would change anything if Guan Yu was riding his legendary horse.
Yeah, whereas Astinian doesn't really have a mount per se.
He also doesn't really need one.
Yeah, like, if a dragon is nearby, at this point in the story, he's probably made friends with them and would probably get a lift.
But even disregarding that, he can just jump 1,000 feet.
Yeah. And, like, he does that so much in defiance of gravity that it's basically a superpower.
It really is. Like, I don't feel too bad bowing, or rather conceding on Guan Yu's behalf. Granted, it's more due to the coin flip than actual combat prowess. But, you know, I also keep looking at my wall where I've got that one picture of Astinian, you know, the one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Like, I don't dislike Astinian. I don't feel like this fight can be argued one way or the other.
You don't put someone up on your wall if you dislike them.
Well, yeah, there's that. I'm just saying I don't think the fight with the facts presented can be argued one way or the other conclusively. I think it really does come down to, like, if you put all of their abilities into, like, a simulator. Like, do you remember that show Deadliest Warrior?
Yeah.
Like, if you could get the the program that they had for that, which, by the way, they came out not too long ago and said, oh, it was all bullshit made up, and it's like, yeah, no shit. But if you had a program like that, I think it would be come to a case of 501 fights would be Astinian, 499 would be Guan Yu. I think that's how close it would be.
Yeah. Like, you could probably program something like that into tabs and see what happens.
Oh, you could, but that's so much effort.
Oh, yeah. How many Astinians does it take to beat one Grim Reaper? Probably 3.
It wouldn't take too many, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the Grim Reaper touches you, it's more or less instant death, but they got to touch you.
Yeah, you distract with the Grim Reaper with one of them as a sacrificial lamb and the other 2 win.
And on that bombshell, again, just to confirm, Astinian wins via coin toss, which, no shame in that, it's not the first time, it won't be the last. Join us next week, which will be the first month of October, for, hopefully,
we don't know what.
If we do our planning correctly, will be a spooky-themed one.
Yeah, hopefully we do at least a couple of spooky ones, yeah. So join us again next time.
Bye, guys.